Hey guys, welcome back. Today it's raining. It's been a long weekend, still cleaning up after the tornado, but I got jobs that got to be managed and taken care of. So I'm going to take you guys along, show you some of the stuff that we've been working on, bring you up to date. I got to deal with Tom the trimmer. Hopefully he's in a good mood. And then Wayne, he's helping me doing some demo on a wine cellar I got going on right next door, so that makes it convenient. And then I also got to deal with the deck that we demoed at my big fancy house. So I'm going to meet the guy. I think we've got a solution on one deck, but I got to figure out how to keep the other one from leaking. So I'm in my car, we're driving, and taking you guys along for the ride. So let's get going. It's going to be a busy day. Okay, here is the before. We're going to be tearing out all this wall, and we're going to build a full glass enclosure under the steps, making it a beautiful wine room so it becomes a showcase. We're getting down to the wire. I'm a little disappointed in one subcontractor. We don't know who it is. Nobody admits to it, but they came upstairs. There had no reason to be up here and used the bathroom. Not only did they leave it a disaster, but this. You guys tell me if you think that is a little bit rude, disgusting, more importantly, just plain disrespectful. So that's what you get a lot of times on the job sites. I like to think we got great guys, but a few sneak through the cracks every now and then. Okay, I realized we got a hearth that goes on the floor and it's not here yet. So I've gotten the dimensions, and so the wood floor guys laid it all out. They're going to cut and install the wood floors and make the exact cut. So when they install the stone hearth, even we've given room for the grout, and we're trying to tuck it in underneath the existing stone so it looks like it was built all around it. So the wood floor guys have to make the precise cuts, and that's what they're doing. So they left the stone up about 3/4 of an inch. Yeah. Tom over there putting in base shoe. So guys, a lot of guys are working, but they've got the stone left up about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. I think it's about an inch, so we can tuck in the fireplace hearth right underneath it, so it looks like the stone sat on top. So now we have to make it look like it was first, but it's really coming in last. In remodeling, you don't always get to do it in order. Okay, you wanna know why I'm carrying an elongated toilet seat? Because I'm gonna complain here a little bit. I'm a little disappointed in one subcontractor. We don't know who it is. Nobody admits to it, but they came upstairs. There had no reason to be up here and used the bathroom. Not only did they leave it a disaster, but this. They busted the toilet seat. So when the homeowner finds it, which they did, because I have no reason to come up here, I get a phone call late at night, and I don't blame them. It's disappointing. It's a violation, you feel like, when somebody destroys your house. So I'm a little upset to figure out, why would anybody want to do this? Two, they had to be standing on the toilet seat, unless they got a big old beep. I had to beep that out. And at least tell me, because it's not that bad. If it's broken, tell me, I'll fix it. Sometimes people make mistakes, but this looks like a blatant way to destroy something. So it's not a big deal, but it's wrong. So here it is. I'm trying to do that delicately because whatever's in there, I can't get it to flush down. I think it's a 7-Eleven burrito. So anyway, they busted the entire seat. So you guys tell me if you think that is a little bit rude, disgusting, more importantly, just plain disrespectful. So that's what you get a lot of times on the job sites. I like to think we got great guys, but a few sneak through the cracks every now and then. Okay, when you get one job going, then we got a phone call from the neighbor. They're interested, so we're going. And next door putting in a wine cellar under the steps. So I'm over here, day 1 doing the demo, and I got Wayne downstairs working on getting it all prepped and tearing stuff out. So I'm gonna go check on him. Just walk to work. So today, Wayne's here. We've marked what gets demoed, what does not. That'll be glass. We gotta cover up all this furniture. It's a beautiful house, so covering everything up, protection, trying to keep a clean job site, leaving it nice when we leave at the end of every day. That's important when you're doing remodels, when people are living in the house. So you gotta be respectful. What I need to be concerned about is if that wall that I'm removing is a header that's holding up above. I've looked at the homeowner's plans, and the plans show a steel beam or a header running from that wall all the way across to that wall. So everything in the middle there is just a decorative wall that allows you to fill in under the steps. But I want to double check that when Wayne removes everything, so I'm not taking out a load-bearing wall. All right, Wayne, it's looking good. See, I like how you covered everything up. So now that we have this drywall off in here, what we gotta double check is if that's a load-bearing corner. And I can stick my hand back in here. There's a stud sideways, which is telling me it's just there to allow drywall for a corner. 90% sure that's not load-bearing, but we're gonna take it out by removing the drywall. Look up in there real close, because this is the steps, I believe, are hanging on a steel beam up above and not being load bearing right here. So I'll keep you posted on that. Wayne's smart by waiting, and then we gotta get an electrician in here to pull some of these wires. Unless Wayne can do some of that. But so what's great, what Wayne does, he cleans up as he goes. We got a little bit of a mess, but not much. So it looks way better having Wayne demo than Eugenio. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Yeah, Eugenio, you got a lot to learn. Eugenio. Did I tell you you don't want to remove the tub? Let me open the garage door.
I'm gonna take it.
You should have done this first.
No, I'm gonna take it.
You're gonna take it?
Yeah. I'm gonna go sell it. Too late.
Too late. Tub's going. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's all gotta go. The other thing on this house is there is heated floors. So there's no tiles under that, so that's an issue I got to deal with. Is most likely, I bet we're going to tear all this tile out and start over. All right, we're trying to deal with the in-floor heat, and right now with the tub location, before it was accessible. Now it's behind the tub. You'll never get to it. And a perfect place for it would be is to put it right here in this toilet room. But you wire the house before all the walls and stuff are in. So now all the walls are in, everything's done. If I want to get it in that toilet room, you gotta cut the floors open, move it all the way across. So now I think we're gonna hit the easy button and just move it over a little bit to the window so that it can be touched and easily accessible, and so we can get in and out of here quickly. So remodeling, it never goes as planned. We're trying to find a solution. All right, there's Mike. So we got Tom here today building the wine room base. The wine rack will sit on top of this base because we want uplighting on that. So this is rip cut oak.
Yeah, you're gonna have 3 lights across here.
Oh, this is how wide it is.
This wide, the wine rack sticking out about probably about this far.
And this is the wall. All right.
Right,
And then
you got
this will
the
be a
wall.
light here.
There'd be one on each end. You got 3 racks, 1, 2, 3, then a light in the middle one, and a light about right here.
Okay.
And then there's another, this is 18, there's another 10-inch deep one going this way about 3 feet with 1 wine rack with a light in front
So
of it.
all this is for to get up lighting on the wine racks. I'll show you a picture of what we did before and then some drawings of what this is going to look like. All right, so Tom, is this something done today, you thinking?
Yeah,
Or
that's the plan.
the plan? Okay, electricians have already been here. I'll show you. They've moved all the wires, added wires, I guess. You got to put in, I think there's going to be a total of, God, I don't know, close to 15, 16 lights in this wine room. It's all about uplighting, downlighting, because as you guys remember, we tore out this whole wall. That was a closet. And now that is going to be the entire backdrop feature for this bar area. As you know, I like to draw on walls. So I'm going to take you over here and show you what it started with. And thank goodness Tom was here this morning, because what I drew on the wall is what they're going after, and it changed. So I drew a box like this, and then I detached it from the wall and added a second one. Well, what happened last week is Lisa and Tom got together, and the drawing, now this part connects. So the electricians needed to know that so they could put their wires all the way through. And also having Tom on the job site works out great because he thinks through every detail, and having him be around, he's been working with me for probably 25 years plus. So the subs will listen to him because he really knows what's going on, and it's all important about all the little details. So you can see the wires are already put in place. They're up in the ceiling. So now I can bring the drywallers back and get the tile setters in here, because this whole back wall is going to be tile. But I had to get the wires in first. Every single little wire, and we're trying to pull them through where the drywall is, but because it's low voltage and little puck lights, we have the flexibility. They're not cans, they actually attach to the ceiling. So we'll be able to adjust them perfectly after everything is built. As long as the wires are there, then we have the ability to kind of move the lights where we want them. And that way, the electrician and the drywallers, they don't have to be very specific, but I gotta let the drywallers know that. So that's another phone call for me. Okay, we thought we were all done downstairs with the remodel. And we came in a bathroom. All we did down here was just paint. Once we got into this room, we looked down. The baseboard that was put in has water damage to it. It must have been wet feet, or maybe something overflowed at one time. Remember, this house is 10 years old. So to get this house looking right, the last thing I wanted was these people to move in. It's kind of echoey. And then they start looking around at stuff, and then I got to bring Tom back, which does two things: makes us look bad, and Tom gets very grouchy on do-overs. So we're putting in a better quality baseboard. We're putting in a poplar, and that's what we have here. So wood holds up way better than what we call MDF. And MDF, I'm not quite sure what that means. You guys could tell me, but it's basically particle board. It's pressed wood together. When it gets wet, it just blows up. Here's what it looks like when it gets wet. It's not good. So here's something I think is great. If you guys have swimming pools or live on lakes, as you're coming off the pool, this design worked out really slick. They have a little hallway that comes to an oversized bathroom. Right in there is the bedroom. So the bedroom shares the pool bath, but what they did, it's nice so people can hang up their stuff. Rarely do I ever think people use a shower at someone's house when you're at the pool, but it's there. Again, I've never seen anybody use it. But they have a private room here for the stool. But get this, here's a great idea. Look, it's got its own urinal. I think it needs a P guard around there that should be something that you can hose down the walls. So if somebody's got bad aim, it doesn't really matter. Otherwise, you're back here painting and probably changing baseboards. Maybe that's how these things got wet. Bad aim. So this is our shortcut, Wayne.
Shortcut right here.
All right. Thank God there's no mud.
Right, no kidding.
Ever since the tornado, it's been raining about every other day.
Yes, it has.
As you can see, we're downstairs. It's still a mess. We got their furniture protected. We just cleaned up the place. There's still a layer of dust. I've got to call and get the duct vents scheduled so they can clean everything out of the house, but I don't want to do that until the painters pretty much get started or shortly after them. So all the dirt and dust that we're creating, we want all that out of here just before they move in. Kind of getting tired of looking at this mess, but it's part of construction. Here's their exercise room. Everything's protected. The painter's still got to touch up this room, and the bar's gonna be beautiful when it gets done. So hopefully this week, tile goes in, we can start putting things back together. Granite countertops should be coming this week. Then I get everybody out, painters come in. So we're getting down to the wire. Okay, I'm walking next door to my next job. So that's my shortcut. Look at this beautiful pool. They say they don't even swim in it, they just look at it. So I should come over and try a cannonball. But let's check up on Wayne, see how he's doing. Wayne, look how nice and organized and clean it is. It's looking good. You got the wall out?
Yes.
So the real question is,
I believe we can take that out.
take this one out.
This
is not load bearing.
No.
You can see up in there, we
That's
need
correct.
to look that it's
Yeah.
gotta be hanging on that beam.
Yeah.
This thing right here is just for
Yeah.
drywall. That
Right.
comes off, but here's the stringer for the steps. These
Right.
are the stringers.
Right.
And that goes all the way through. You could remove that piece of plywood or something.
I'm gonna move on.
And then see what
Yeah.
we got. But that's the whole objective, is to get this all wide open so it's
Yeah.
all glass.
Yes.
So you guys can build one underneath your steps. Should we take a little break for lunch?
Yeah. All right. I had a break.
I'm gonna buy Wayne lunch. Actually, brunch. I like breakfast.
I should buy him lunch
It's
and brunch.
almost 1:30. You gotta eat fast, cause I gotta meet someone at the
too.
next house here at 2. I've said this before, but what's great about having Wayne here is that we have to be respectful for people in their house. They're living upstairs, they're working at home. So one, trying to keep the noise down, which is kind of impossible. But two, most importantly, is keeping the dirt and the dust down. When you're at someone's house, I always said this, it's like watching surgery. It's not fun. And I've always said this in the past, so forgive me for repeating myself, but I use it a lot. I have to tell people that. Let us get our work done. It's gonna be messy, but in the end, it should be beautiful. All right, one of my stops today is back at the house where we have the deck issues. We've got everything demoed. We still have the tarp up on the roof because it just won't stop raining. And so I'm meeting Jake over here. He does all my decks. And we're gonna do the same deck like we did at Flair's house and a couple of other ones, where we frame the decking and then we put like a bladder system in, exactly what it is. And then we are able to put like a Trex deck on top, a real nice composite decking that's a maintenance free. And because we put the bladder in, we're able to then put can lights underneath and a nice wood ceiling like we had before. Somewhat of an easier fix for the one deck. The other one is over top of living space, so I'm not able to do that bladder system that I'm aware of. I'm gonna ask Jake right now to see if that's a possibility, and hopefully start putting this thing back together so these people can start enjoying their backyard. So you asked for the decking material. We can do like we did at Flair's. There was a dark, what brand was that?
It was AZEK.
Azek, is that a,
It's a PVC 50-year warranty.
that's what we want. We want
Yeah.
maintenance free, 50-year. This house, what we're seeing here on this deck is what they call ePay. This is
Well, you got to maintain
super,
it.
it is. I
It's
know, we
oiling
saw it.
like every year probably.
So here's what happened. The homeowner saw a neighbor that had it on his deck. We didn't know it, that at night he would come out like every 3 weeks and coat it. So we always thought it looked perfect. This guy was super anal and had his deck look great. We thought, well, let's put that deck on because
Yeah.
you never have to take care of it. Now, you have to come out because it weathers. It's like teak. Some people like that look, but it just gets kind of rough looking if you ask me. So
It dries out so fast.
it does. It's super hard. I think it's even harder than teak. It's very expensive material. So if you ever heard of that, Epay wood. So you'll put bladder, like waterproofing on that edge.
Yep.
Do I come in and fix all this after you got your deck in?
Yeah. I will. So we don't have anything backtracking inside.
Yeah, I'm gonna, if I have to, I might even come in and maybe even waterproof those walls.
Okay.
God, I don't know, it's,
Because all these openings stay and the roof stays.
yeah,
I mean, that's all coming out.
It's all coming out. So
Yeah.
this is a very wide open deck. So basically the
Yeah.
deck, problem we had, it's enclosed on the sides with the top being open. So only water, the way it gets out, and snow was through that drain.
Yeah.
Do you know of a heating system that we can put in the floor to help melt the snow? Have you ever done that? If not, we're looking into it, but we're afraid that the ice melt that we put like in gutters, you know, that maybe that's too hot, that might melt your rubber.
Yeah, so it's EPDM, just like what they use on commercial roofs,
Oh,
flat roofs, you know.
okay, so
it's a
maybe I find out.
It's a 45 mil.
Poly type, not
Yeah,
poly.
EPDM.
Okay, so I may look at that, and then if not, the homeowner suggested they would just do these mats you roll out in the wintertime,
Oh, okay.
and then it would help
Yeah.
heat the snow. It'll just be a seasonal thing.
Yeah. This year we had 1 week of snow.
I know.
And then it was done. So.
I know it. As soon as we say that, then we'll have every week of snow.
I'm just trying to get over
Who never
the
thought
rain.
we'd have a tornado? Oh
Yeah.
boy. Always alerts, but never a tornado. And this time it showed up. So, all right. So you got a pretty good handle on your measuring. So, what's nice doing if we wanted to go 2x8, the distance it works as a structural load. That when you buy materials, it'll tell you how far it will span, and 2x8s work. But what we might do is double them up. Instead of like 16 on center, we'll go 12 on center. And the only reason I wanted to go 2x8s is to allow Jake some extra. We can raise the deck up so that we can create room for the gutter system so it doesn't hang down. But I don't know if that's going to be necessary. So that's what we're going to figure out. So here we are. This is the room that's over top of the garage. And we do have a drain. I don't see a way the bladder system would work in here. Right? What if we did like a commercial roof? I don't want to come back, and I'm trying to make it as easy. I don't want to come back and pour concrete because one, I don't know, it's pump trucks.
Right.
It hasn't worked. It's failed twice now on us. So I want to come with a whole new scenario. All the joists are fine. Everything looks good. It's just, I mean, it's gotten some slow leaks through the years, and then we're on top of the garage. This is the next solution. It's got to be something different than what we're doing on the other deck.
Yep.
Jeez, I'm gonna fall through this and end up in the garage. You guys got any solutions? Please reach out, give me some suggestions. Because what happened here, there was like a big metal pan, and when concrete sat on that for over a period of time, has a reaction with the concrete. It just ate through it and caused some leaking. In the past, what I've done is put wood boards down, we waterproof it with a rubber membrane, and then we pour the concrete. Somehow, the guy before talked me out of that, and now we have this situation. So let me know what you guys come up with. I know I'll be poking around, asking a lot of questions in the field to Jake. I don't know, I think if we could, I'd love to do Trex decking, or maybe the tiles. You can buy tiles
Yep.
that sit on pedestals. So when you don't grout the tile, the water goes through the tile joints where there would be grout, and then it finds its way to the drain, which would be a big trench drain down the middle. So maybe that's what we look at. How soon can you get on this?
Well, put me on the spot, huh?
Yeah, I need you. You're on camera.
I know.
Yeah, there's no lying to the camera.
Probably take a week or so to get the bladder. That's the biggest thing. Biggest
Are those
holdup.
custom made for?
Yep,
for
they're
the-
custom cut, and they have the taper to them, so they have that slope with the
Okay.
trough.
So
Yeah.
I got to stay ahead of you when you do that. Well, you put all that in, then I have my electrician come back and put the cans
Yeah.
and speakers in.
Yeah, we'll frame it, bladder it, do everything above,
Okay.
and then your electrician can come do all the stuff in the ceiling joist after.
Good. All right. Then I got to bring back Tom, my trimmer, to put the wood ceiling on. So,
Yep.
all right. So it's a little bit like remodeling. Sometimes things don't go in order, but I'll let you run the show till you get all done. Then I'll bring everybody else in. I'm off to the next job. Thought you'd get a kick out of that. That's an old joke for you new people. Okay. All right, I came to check up on Tom. He's already built these Rifcut oak boxes, and these are the ones we're talking about because the wine racking system will sit about right in here, and that gives us room in the front that we will put puck lights. So we'll get uplighting. This will be stained the same dark color as the bar cabinets. And so these are these little details that really make things pop. And so It doesn't look like much now, but wait till it's all done. And by the way, I still have hats, lots of hats that we're still selling at a deep discount. So reach out to me and I'll get them in the mail to you. I do all the mailing as well. So let's go see what else is Tom's working on. So Tom, what are you working on here now?
Okay, well, as you know, homeowner decided to knock the 3/4 inch thick tile off this floor and put 1/2 inch down, which is great, except for the casing. The original casing was sitting on 3/4 inch tile. Now they put 1/2 inch flooring in, and all the casing's 1/4 inch too short. So instead of replacing all the casing, I'm cutting little blocks. I took this block at a 15-degree angle, laid it on there, and I cut it at a slight angle, nice and clean. Now I glued this in here, and that fits in there just right.
Oh, that's nice.
Instead of, well, I didn't have an option. Then I take a micro pinner, very, very small pins, just to hold it in temporarily.
And there's the after.
Yeah, so I'll let it set and then I'll sand it up after it sets a little bit.
Those are the attention to details that Tom looks for and makes me look good. So thank you, Tom.
That's impossible.
It's impossible to make me look good, even with this hat on.
That's right, well, you're welcome.
Thank you. I want to show you guys the attention to detail that Tom does, because we had tore out all the tile floors in the house, and they're always about that thick, 3/4 or so. And then when we took all that out and replaced it with wood, there's a pretty good gap, I think close to about 1/2 inch. So Tom is coming through on all the doors. Everywhere in the house there's a door. He is cutting out the bottom because it looks funny, and so he's fixing every single one in the house. Hopefully the homeowner appreciates it, because when they move in, they start looking around, that's when they notice it, and then it's too late to come back and fix it. So we're staying ahead of the game. Thank you, Tom.